Hi. Oh, hi. Hello. I want to thank the organizers for having me here, and especially for giving me permission to fail. I've been given permission to fail today on this stage, so thank you for that. How many people here actually consider themselves burners? Who here is a burner? And who here is a burner just this week? Just this week, just only from Monday to Monday. And who is a burner for the entire year? Okay, so how does that happen? Festivals are these individual times and places that we come together to do something, to listen to music, to create music, to build art, to burn art. What is a festival for, especially now? So a lot of festivals that are becoming quite popular, Burning Man especially, are guided by a vision of the way the future could be, where we get together in a discrete time and place and we experiment in intentionality. That's what we're doing. We're wearing certain clothes, we're acting certain ways, we're picking up trash, we're trying to make the world a better place. And we're doing this according to principles that are guiding us to a vision of a perfect utopia. So the question is, how can we help Burning Man achieve this utopian vision? What do we need to do so that we can finally get there where everything is perfect? How can we achieve a utopian vision? We can't. You cannot achieve a utopian vision. In fact, the very definition of utopia, topos means place, ou is the negation. Utopia literally means no place. So we are never going to get there. We are never going to achieve a utopian vision. We are never going to live according to the 10 principles of Burning Man. So why are we here? So ancient festivals came out of ordered societies. So they were in a discrete time and place, and people generally knew each other. And you were either showcasing your community or to outsiders, or sort of celebrating your community. You knew who was around. You all sort of lived in the same place. And these festivals were often prescribed. They were often sort of the worshiping of the emperor as the sun god and the sacrifices in the priestly class. Not really a utopian vision. And when you have a dictatorial society, you don't need a utopian vision because the dictator will just decide what happens next. So ancient festivals didn't have the same promise of a utopian vision. Now we see that change as the world gets a bit bigger and cultures start to meet each other in a somewhat violent way with imperialism. And with the dissemination of these Catholic ideas, we have this idea of Carnival. Carnival would be, I would call it the first international festival. There's Carnival in Venice, there's Carnival in Rio, there's Carnival, Mardi Gras is Carnival. And Carnival is actually a utopian vision. Carnival is the day, the last gasp of ascension before Lent, when society is turned on its head, and the nobles become the serfs, and the serfs become the nobles, and everything is permitted, and we all play and adventure, and then immediately that vision fails because we go into Lent, where things are prohibited instead of allowed. But what do we get out of that day? Because it's not just about that day. It's about how we come together to build our floats for Rio Carnival. It's about the crews of Mardi Gras that are preparing all year and throwing these elegant balls. It's about the community that is coming together for this one day, but coming together all year round to play in this potential of utopia. Our next stop is Woodstock. And I think, how many people here were actually at Woodstock? Yeah. That's awesome. That's amazing, and I'm super happy you're here. Did Woodstock achieve a utopian vision? Woodstock is considered by my generation to be this sort of mythical festival of where we really tried and free love and then it's sort of this high water mark, and then it didn't really happen. We didn't get there. We didn't really change the world in this big way that we hoped we would. And shortly afterwards, there was the Altamont Speedway Free Festival, where someone was actually murdered right on camera in front of the stage as the Rolling Stones played. And with a historical perspective, you can say that that was the end of this utopian vision. But the reason that that failure happened was this idea that everything had to be counterculture, everything had to be according to these sort of principles. So the Rolling Stones hired the Hells Angels so that they could be as counterculture as possible to be security. And of course, the Hells Angels were the ones who actually murdered this person. This is an error in judgment, and that is always going to happen. We are humans, and we will always make errors in judgment. The people who are leading this fabulous festival are going to make errors in judgment, and you are going to disagree with it, and you are going to get very angry at them, and they're going to continue to do their best. A utopian vision is not attainable, but what we can do is try to get there together. And what we get in so doing is the community that's the real prize. So if we come to today, we have Burning Man. Burning Man is guided by these fabulous 10 principles, and we strive to achieve them knowing that we'll fail. And is this a Sisyphean failure? Is this rolling the rock up the hill just to do it over and over again? I would say no, it's not. More, it is asymptotic, which is sort of this idea of going towards infinity and never quite getting there. We're sort of like, as you get to it, you sort of slow down, but you keep striving. We're never going to get to this utopian place, and that's fine. We don't need to get there. We don't need to make all the right choices. We don't need to... Every camp will not get a 0 MOOP score or be perfectly green on the map. We won't get there. And the founders of this festival will not always make the decisions that you agree with or the decisions that you believe have the deepest integrity according to the principles guiding them. But that's okay, because what we're really doing here is striving towards something together, and the becoming is actually the prize. Now, when you look at modern festivals, the ones that are building these year-round communities are the ones that are guided by principles. So, for example, Bonnaroo, if you go to Bonnaroo, and that's a commercial festival, but over time people have started to consider themselves Bonnaroovians. They have a Bonnaroovian code. People striving towards ideals together. Shambhala in Canada is another example. They call them, who goes to Shambhala? Oh, very nice. I love Canadians. Shambhala is another utopia. In fact, Shambhala, the very word itself, is a sort of mythical mountain kingdom. But is Shambhala going to be perfect? No. People are always complaining about all of these festivals and how they're not achieving the high bar set. But I would argue that that's part of the whole process. Complain, make a big stink. Shambhala is not being green enough. Bonnaroo is not green enough. Burning Man is not green enough. Of course it's not. And we should call that out. But there is only one thing that I believe that you can do in this situation that is the wrong choice. And that is to walk away. It is when you walk away from the community because it's not the thing you hoped it would be that makes it less the thing you hoped it would be. You are here to strive to make it better, to connect with each other, to hold each other accountable. So the only thing that you can do, knowing that you'll never achieve the utopia you strive for, the only thing that you can do that is an actual failure is to give up and walk away. And I'd like to end with a quote, a Lewis Carroll quote, because I feel like that's what we're doing here. Now that you've met me, said the unicorn, I agree to believe in you if you agree to believe in me. With that in mind, we're here for community. We're here to believe in each other, whatever that is, whatever magical name you've given yourself, whatever costume you're wearing. You're here so that your community can believe in you and you can believe in them. We're not going to get to the magical place. Alan Watts says that good must always be winning but never win, and evil must always be losing but never lose. Otherwise, life isn't very fun or very interesting. And so together, we keep striving, we keep holding each other accountable, knowing full well that we can't succeed. Thank you.